Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you are welcome. My name is Anita Phone, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified each and every time I upload a new tutorial on my channel. If you're a member, you are welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to make a princess dark step by step. So if you want to know how I'll be going about it, keep on watching. First thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and draw a straight line, which is going to be my shoulder line. The next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead. I will take my shoulder divided by 2. Mine is 14. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7 inch. I'm going to mark that up. I'm going to slant it down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant. I will move now to my armhole deep. If you don't know how to get the armhole deep, divide around your bust by 6, then you add 1.5 inch to it. This 7 inch I use from here, I will repeat the same thing here and mark that up. After marking it up, I'm going to go ahead and connect it up. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll go ahead now to mark my neck width of 3 inch and my neck deep of 4 inch or 4.5 inch. I'm going to go ahead and mark 4.5 inch and connect that up, and as well I'll connect my shoulder slant as well. After doing so, I will measure up whatever I have here and divide it by 2, which mine is 7.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.075. I'm going to go in by half inch. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to come here. I'll put 1/4 of my bust. Round my bust is 34. 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I will mark that up and I'm going to connect it up like this. After connecting that up, next thing I'm going to do is to measure from my shoulder to my bust point, which is 10 inch. From my shoulder, I will mark from my shoulder to my under bust, which is 14 inch. From my shoulder to my length of this top, which is 19 inch. After marking that up, I'm going to go ahead and connect it up with straight lines. Next thing I'm going to do is to take my nipple to nipple measurement. Mine is 8 inch. 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 4. I will mark it up and connect it up. I will come here. I'm going to mark half inch towards the center, and at here I will mark 1.5 inch. After doing so, I'm going to go ahead and connect that up. The next thing I'm going to do is to come on my bust point line. I'm going to go down by 1 inch. When I'm done connecting that up, the next thing I'm going to do is I will come from my bust point line. I'm going to go up by half inch. Connect it all the way to that half inch. You can go up to 3/4 inch. I'll measure up whatever I have here and divide that by 2. Which is 8.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 4.025. I'll go ahead now. I'm going to connect it up like this. After connecting that up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark half inch both sides. I'll come down by half inch, go up by half inch. Connect it up all the way to that 3/4 inch we went up. When I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extend it up by 1 inch. After doing so, I'll connect it all the way to that point. Now we'll go ahead now to connect our new armhole. When I'm done doing so, I'll go ahead now to put my measurement. I'll come here, I'll put 1/4 of my bust. Round my bust is 34. 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I'll be adding 1.5 inch to it, or 1 inch for sewing allowance, depending on what you want to add. I'll come here, I'll put 1/4 of my under bust. Round my under bust is 28. 28 divided by 4 is going to give me 7. I'll mark that up. I'm going to replace back the dart allowance. Then I will add up my sewing allowance. I'll come here on my waistline. I'm going to put 1/4 of my waist. Around my waist is 27. 27 divided by 4 is going to give me 6.075. Then I'm going to mark that up. I'll replace back the dart allowance and connect it up. Once I'm done doing so, I'll go ahead now. I'll be drafting up the back pattern. The back pattern is simple. It's not like the front. I'll take my shoulder measurement, just the same thing we did for the front, for the basic block. I went down by 1 inch for the neck deep, but for the neck width, I went in by 3 inch, like we did for the front. Connect it up like this. Then I'm going to connect my shoulder slant as well. I'll go ahead now, put my armhole deep, which is 7.5, like we did for the front. This 7 inch we mark from here, we're going to repeat it up here as well. Go ahead and connect that up and connect these points as well. Then I'll put 1/4 of my bust, which round my bust is 34. 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I'll measure up whatever I have and divide it by 2, like we did for the front. But for the back, we are not going in. Instead, we are going to place our French cuff like this and connect it all the way from the outside. You see what I've just done there? Now I'm going to go ahead. I will mark up the length of my top, which is 19 inch. Mark that up and connect it up. After doing so, I'm going to go ahead now. I'll put my nipple to nipple measurement and connect it up with a straight line. I'm going to be creating up my dart of half inch both sides. Connect it all the way to the chest line, like this and like so. Now after doing so, I'm going to put 1/4 of my waist. Round my waist is 27. 27 divided by 4 is going to give me 6.075. I'm going to replace back the dart allowance as well. Do the same thing to and the top part, okay, and connect that up. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead now. I'll add 1 inch for my zipper allowance like this and like so. Connect that up with a straight line. I'll connect these points as well. I'll do the same thing here. Measure up now whatever we have there and divide it by 2, which is 17. 17 divided by 2 is going to give me 8.5. Mark that up. Then I'm going to go in by half inch. I'll connect it up like this. This way, we're going to avoid the zipper from bulging behind or looking funny behind. Once we're done doing so, we'll go ahead now to cut it up. Once we're done cutting it, this is what we have. I'm going to be showing you on how to join the front. Okay, so you just go ahead and place this on your fabric and cut it up. I went ahead and cut it, and I also added an interfacing to it. Okay, my interfacing is not that thick, but you should go ahead to add the thick one if you have it. Then you're just going to end it on your under bust and make sure you don't place it right closer to your neck. After doing so, you press it up with a steam iron to stick it up to the fabric. I'll go ahead now and join it up like you can see me doing. You use your pin to pin them up. This way it's going to be easier for you to sew. But I'm also going to show you on how to sew that without pinning it up the other side. Now this other side, I'm going to be just stitching and placing it together like this. As you can see the way I'm arranging it, making sure this part you're going to go through it a bit by bit. Don't rush yourself out, okay? And you want to make sure nothing is being twisted along the line. Take your time, go through it a bit by bit. When you are done, when I'm done now, I'm going to go ahead now to press that up, and then I'll show you what it look like. When you're adding your interfacing, make sure that it should end at your under bust. Okay? So you make sure your interfacing should end on your under bust, okay? You go ahead to press it up. Look at the way the thing is already looking very nice. I've not put it on, but just look at the way the shape is. So I hope you find this tutorial helpful. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, comment and share. I hope to see you on our next DIY. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.